I'm here at the RYA Dinghy Show 2013 and I'm joined by Jane Morris from the Salcombe Yacht Club and John White, RYA Sports Development Manager. So John, let's start with you. Can you tell me exactly what RYA Club of the Year award is and how long the award's been taking place?
Yeah, well, Club of the Year is it's really a celebration of all the amazing things that happens at clubs all around the UK. We've been running it for about 5 years now, and it's really proved to be a fantastic way not only of understanding what clubs do, but really capturing some of the great examples and passing that information on to other clubs. So it's actually, our job in the main is not to do with inventing new things, it's really to do with communicating some of the inspirational things that go on.
And Jane, I understand that last year Salcombe actually entered the competition and were indeed finalists. Can you tell us why you decided to enter?
Nigel Blaisby, who runs our cadets, had seen there was a Club of the Year award and was aware that we had become recently an RYA training centre and said, you know, we do a lot, we're increasing our open meetings, maybe we should enter. So I looked at the entry form and started to document what Salcombe does, and it needed a development plan. And we didn't have a development plan. But we did, in a way, all those endless committee meeting minutes of where you're going and what you'd like to do, but we hadn't, in a succinct way, looked at where the club was going. And our regional development officer, Tony Wood, for the South West, was an inspiration and guided us through the starting of doing that, and then we looked at how we could expand and what we could do.
Wonderful. And that's when you decided to sort of push forwards and put the entry in?
Put the entry in. What had happened is we had paid our club affiliation fee for some years, but not really explored all the benefits that the RYA has. I went to a development conference on funding at Exeter University that the RYA organised, and that was brilliant. And Tony said, you are an ideal candidate for a Sport England grant, because we had a newly formed ladies sailing group midweek that didn't have any boats. We were crunched up in the cadet boats, and we now proudly have 2 RS Visions which are packed out with happy ladies during the week on a Tuesday when we meet, and at weekends we are getting cadet parents into sailing. So it's just been brilliant in many ways.
Wonderful. So John, back to you. Why did the RYA introduce the award?
Well, we introduced it because we wanted to understand more about the really good clubs, and we wanted, as I said earlier on, to really celebrate that. And without our club network, I mean, basically we don't. You know, the sport of sailing would be dramatically smaller. Mm-hmm. So, very important part of what we do is our clubs and the great things that go on.
So, who can actually take part in the competition?
Well, any RYA affiliated club can take part.
Okay. So, Jane, obviously, as a club that has decided to enter, what would you say to other clubs that are thinking about entering? You know, why should they do it?
They should do it to firstly look at where they are at the moment and where they would like to be. What was fantastic about coming last year to the celebration day as one of the finalists, we got over 20 club members came up, and throughout the day we all went to different courses that the RYA ran. We split up, and whether it be promote your cadet sailing or look at how you can increase your facilities. And David Greening, one of our past Commodores, went along and discovered that we could in fact have an opportunity on the Inspired Facilities Grant, which in fact there's building works going on at the club as we sit here, which is just fabulous that the RYA has made things happen. So I would say to other clubs, it's definitely increased our interaction with the RYA. I'm really have a weekly, I will speak to someone at the RYA, and just sometimes it's a brief question to the legal department about a point on our rules, or how can we deal with membership, looking at our membership profiles, which we've had a study to try and increase a participation in the young adults. And again, the RYAs will always suggest, oh, there's another club that's just looked at that, and maybe they can share their experience with you. And lo and behold, we're all sort of pulling together, and it really feels like we're going somewhere.
Do you feel that by entering the competition it's made the club strive to be better?
Definitely. We definitely are looking at where we would like to be, and that's why we've got a stand here this year. We've never taken a stand at the Dinghy Show before, but it's a very proactive step to say, and it's really interesting because one of the committee members said to me, so what are you trying to achieve by going to the show? And that's real RYA speak of what are your goals? And I was thinking, well, the goals are we want to promote the club, but we would like to increase the numbers who come down to open meetings and regattas. And if people have got any barriers thinking, oh, Salcombe's a very expensive place to go on holiday and sail, we'll say, well, no, you can camp. And there's lots of other ways of coming to Salcombe without staying in the most expensive holiday flat.
Do you think it's had an impact on the club being able to say you were finalists?
Oh, definitely. We've proudly put up our very lovely plaque, and it's been on all our headed paper. We've actually rebranded our paper recently, and that was because of a talk that we came to last year. Where was it? Leigh Loughton, who had been one of the finalists too, gave a very good talk on the overall marketing and how you can increase memberships, and we took a look at ourselves and said, actually, we could do with a bit updating too, and that's what we did. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, John, back to you. What are the judges looking for when they're shortlisting all the entries to get those finalists and to find that one club that maybe just sits head and shoulders above the others to take the title?
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, really, there's a number of key areas, but. I say we, I don't judge it, but we as RYA look at the leadership of the club. We look at the how the club is run in terms of the business, if you like, of the club, and also the activities. But it's not as simple as that, because there's actually quite a number of clubs, Salcombe included, that do a great job in all of those areas, but often there'll be something above and beyond that as well, some real inspirational stuff that makes the difference. Because I mean, actually, we've been completely, I wouldn't say stunned necessarily, but by the quality of the applications, by the regional development officers have said to me over many years, oh, I've got this fantastic club, they're doing great things. And of course that's really nice to hear. It's only when you pull it together into an awards process like this that you really fundamentally understand what wonderful things are going on, through our inspirational clubs. And also, Jane and I were talking earlier on, and Jane said there's lots of hard work to be done. And absolutely, it's hard work, but it's fun. But fundamentally, it's fun, and it's not just the sailing that's fun. It's actually, working on the club and ensuring it's a great place to be, great fun place to be.
So, Jane, what do you think it was that was on your application that saw your club become one of the top 5 last year?
It was we had started a new programme for adults, ladies that launch on a Tuesday morning, and it was the fact that we kept at it when we didn't have boats the right size and went through the process to enable us to enrich the club to have club boats. And in fact, what has been fantastic is, I don't know if you've ever seen a Salcombe yawl, but they're an exceptional local fishing fleet boat, as they are sometimes known, a 16-foot clinker-built yawl. We have been given one as a club boat, so for the first time we can actually see the old Salcombe yawl fleet, which has been dwindling in numbers. We can hopefully promote some new sailors to convert, who will be the yawl fleet sailors of the future.